Thank you to Base44 for sponsoring this video. Base44 just hit $100 million of ARR. It's one of the fastest growing vibe coding tools in the world. And in this video, we are going to build a full stack app using Base44. So even if you're a complete beginner to this world, by the end of the video, you're going to know how to build your very own app. And you're going to want to stick around until the end because I'm going to show you how you can create an AI agent within Base44 that connects to your app logic that you can chat with through WhatsApp. This is a new feature that I'm really excited to show you. Now, before we jump in, I'm going to talk a little bit about what makes Base44 different from other AI coding tools that you might have heard of. My personal favorite is the integrations. This means that you can connect to services like Slack to post as a bot in a Slack workplace. You can connect to Google Analytics to track website traffic and user insights, which when connected with AI, is really cool and helpful, and connect to tools like Gmail to automate email sending and inbox management. This is something that not every vibe coding tool has, and I think makes it really powerful. There's also a bunch of templates that you can browse, and this is another thing that I find really powerful. And I see that they have paid templates as well, which I actually wasn't aware of before recording this video. This is a really cool opportunity that if you want to get in here and vibe code some apps, you could templatize it, charge money for it, and potentially make quite a lot of money. Base44 is owned by Wix, which is one of the largest website building companies in the world. And the fact that they're investing in a template marketplace, usually this is a great way to build a business. Webflow, for example, has a template marketplace, and there's web developers who've made a lot of money with that. So this is super interesting. I might have to make some templates myself after recording this video. But so just for example, we can click in here, we can see this is a CRM. So you could, go in, build it, and then also use Base44 to fully customize it to whatever you want. So let's start building one of our own ideas. Create a flight delay predictor, should estimate the likelihood of flight delays based on historical data and current conditions. So this is a fairly complicated prompt. Let's go ahead and send it off and see what Base44 can do for us. So you can enable browser notifications so you get an alert when the AI is done coding. That can be helpful to add. It's nice that they have that feature. The first thing that it's doing is building a plan, and it's coming up with the key features that it wants to build. And now it's starting to actually code the app. On the right side, we can see the preview. So once it's ready, we'll be able to actually see the preview of our app. And you can also sync to GitHub as well, so the code isn't stuck on Base44. Something else that really sets Base44 apart from some other tools is that it's a full stack app builder. So the user authentication and the database and the hosting are all built in. So everything can be done right from your browser, right in Base44. You don't have to worry about the complicated setup of setting up a backend through Supabase, setting up user authentication, setting up hosting through a different service. Now, those are things that are definitely possible to do. And many times when I'm vibe coding or coding with AI, I'll use Claude Code and I'll use Supabase and I'll use Vercel. But if you're a beginner and you're just starting out, you are going to want to use a tool like Base44, which has it all built in. We're going to jump into the result in just a second, but I want to point out how cool this is. So on the left side, the agent is telling us what it did, all of the files that it created. So you can really get a sense of what's happening behind the scenes. And then if you ever want to, you can actually view the code by going up here on the top. Oh, also you can sync to GitHub to view all the code, but we can say files used in this page, and then we can click on any of the files or click see all files. And now we can see all of the code. And if you're on a paid plan, you can actually edit the code directly. So we now have this flight delay predictor, and we can check this out real quick. So let's try it out. Let's put Delta Airlines, origin from Atlanta, and let's say March 18th, and destination airport, let's say Detroit. So let's now click predict delay. This is pretty cool. So it's pulling up that flight based on weather conditions, airline reliability, congestion, time of day. It's saying there's a 30% chance of delay. Predictions are based on historical data patterns and statistical models. Actual delays may vary. And the design of it is really nice. I like the ATL to DTW that it has here. So all that is really cool. I'm kind of curious. So I'm going to go into discuss mode. So this is a feature you should know about with Base44 as well. If you ever want to just chat with your AI instead of actually having it code, you can click discuss. So I'm going to say, how are you actually getting the data for the predictions? So I'm kind of curious, and this is something that you should always be thinking about when you are using AI to code is don't actually just trust what's happening. You should ask it and understand what's happening behind the scenes. Okay, so here's the data sources. Hard-coded on-time performance rates and average delay, static airport data, time-based factors, and then it's weighted. So it's not connected to real-time weather, FAA, or actual historical flight databases. So if you want real data, I can integrate with a weather API via Base44 integrations, which I talked about before, where it allows us to do that more easily to pull actual conditions. And then we could also use backend connections, which is in Base44's paid plan. So backend functions, if you upgrade, you'll have access to backend functions, which allow you to connect to any API, which then we could pull in, historical data as well. Okay, so right now this is more of a simulation and just showing you kind of what's possible. And then pulling in that additional data is where this would become more of a reliable app with real data pulled in. And that again is what's powerful about Base44 is that you can do that through integrations. And then I mentioned earlier about how Base44 can be a full stack app. And this is what I mean. So here the database is fully integrated. The searches are saved. If we add user authentication, we would be able to see all of the users here. Right now, it's just me because there's no login. It's just the admin. Agents. So you can build AI agents into your app using Base44's AI agent infrastructure. So we can turn that on and then ask the chat to create an agent for you, describe what role the agent should have and what it should perform. Let's actually test this out. I want to show you what's possible here because this is where you're going from beyond just an app to an actually agentic app. So let's actually just ask the AI. We'll say, I want to create an agent, but what kind should I make? So a few different ideas. A WhatsApp agent. Users could message your app on WhatsApp to check delay predictions, get alerts, and ask what flights are risky today. I think that's a really cool idea. So let me uncheck and let's do WhatsApp agent. I'm curious how this actually works. So now if we go back to our dashboard, we go to agents, we can see there's now this agent that we can edit and start a chat with, and then we'll be able to see the conversations with the agent as well. So if I click edit agent, we'll be able to see the description, the instructions, the AI model that's being used. We can see tools that it has access to. So it has access to this flight prediction tool, which is basically within our app. And this is basically creating agents that can access your app and then access other tools. We can turn on memory so the agent can save and recall information across conversations, global and per user, global or per user only. Really, really cool stuff here. And then under WhatsApp, we can actually test the chat and it'll all work within WhatsApp. So if I click this, so now I'm inside WhatsApp, I activated it. And now I have a WhatsApp chat. Welcome to the flight delay predictor. I can help you estimate the likelihood of delays, etc. So I could say, I'm going from New York City to LA on March 20th. And now we have a response. And this was sent from the Base44 app that we just created. This is actually insane, and you need to test this out. So I'm sharing some more information, and then it's giving us a result with a delay probability. And this is now interacting with the app logic that we just created in Base44 through our WhatsApp chat. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment to let me know what you think and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more free content like this. We'll see you in the next video.